Tasmania's forestry peace talks are expected to reach a deal in less than a day. The ABC understands a statement of principles between the forest industry and environment groups is to be signed tomorrow. But the agreement will be too late for the northeast town of Scottsdale, where Gunns is closing its sawmill.
Forestry and environment groups have been thrashing out a peace plan for months. The ABC understands a final draft statement of principles will be signed tomorrow. The groups appear to have reached agreement on phasing out logging of native forests. But it's all too late for the northeast town of Scottsdale, where Gunns is closing its softwood mill in 4 months and axing 120 jobs.
From what we've been told, it'll probably be shorter than that. They'll start to be called in within a week to 2 weeks to be given the option of what redundancy is available.
Gunns bought the Ozpine softwood mills in Scottsdale in 2007. It closed one a year later and says the Ling siding sawmill is no longer viable.
When the resource was awarded away from Scottsdale to Bell Bay in 1997, that really was the decision that made today's one an absolute certain outcome.
We've all sort of knew it was going to happen. Like I said, a lot of us have got the opinion that originally Gunns had just bought the place to shut them down.
The company is buying a softwood and hardwood sawmill at Bell Bay from the receivers of Forest Enterprises Australia.
It does centralise a lot of their operations in that Bell Bay area, which from a management point of view and a controlling point of view actually makes life a lot easier for them.
Some Scottsdale workers may still get a job. Gunns has offered to bus up to 50 to the Bell Bay mill.
This has been coming now for over 4 months. It's been talked about in this parliament on a number of occasions, and yet the government have stood by and done nothing.
The Premier and I are working hard on having a working group put in place that draws on a number of people from this community.
The Dorset Mayor's worried his community is missing out on forestry opportunities. He says the round table agreement is due to be signed tomorrow, but his community was never invited to the negotiations.
Either the conservation movement, the environmental movement and some of the industries don't get affected on the ground. It's the workers and the local communities who are affected, and that's why I get peeved that we haven't had a voice in it.
It's understood the final statement of principles contains a compromise on the key issue of biomass, the burning of waste residue for power, to allow the practice only for plantation harvesting. Other key details remain unchanged, including the immediate protection of high conservation value forest and a commitment to eventually stop logging native forest altogether. Jackie Street, ABC News.